Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It's Championship Friday. No, I'm not talking about NBA. No, I'm not talking about NHL. I'm talking Dan's lacrosse team. Dan, get in here. Congratulations, man. You moved back to Philly. You're coaching your team, and you guys won the championship last night. Awesome.
Yeah. So apologizing for the raspy voice. As you guys know, in the first game, Andy, the season, I lost my voice for like a week, and I was like, Andy, it's never going to happen again. But we were in the championship game, so all bets were off. We ended up hoisting the trophy. All is good. So great vibes as we head into the weekend. You and I cashed that 4% basketball play last night. We cashed the 5% on Exeter Lacrosse, winning the championship on the money line. So it was a good night, man, and we got a good show set up here for y'all. So again, I apologize for the raspy voice, but I expect greatness, and you yell when you're expecting greatness. But they got it done. We got your play of the day coming your way. We hit that one. That was the free client play that we gave for you guys. Gianni is back. We're going to get the Steam report from him. Teddy Covers is in the house. Thunder Spurs. We're also going to talk my Phillies taking on the Guardians. Phillies huge favorites. Does Teddy think they should be? We'll find out here. And Joe Raineri going to wrap things up as we had Marco on Wednesday. So we have Joe batting cleanup here. Dodgers, Brewers, Mets, Marlins, and then we'll also talk Game 3. Are the Cavaliers cooked? You will find out on the show here today,
Andy. The Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell's legs are cooked, or leg, I should say, from Donovan Mitchell. Shout out to him for dragging that thing around, but that was a little tough to watch last night. So I will do the heavy lifting for you here, Dan. Congratulations.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy.
Words deserve it. Let's do the play of the day, though. Let's end.
Let's do it.
Let's end the week on a winning note. And I could be getting got here, Dan, but I do not understand the line here and why the Cardinals are even money on the first 5 innings. This is all about pitching. Kyle Lee pitching for the Cardinals, Paddock pitching for the Reds. Paddock coming over from the Marlins. He just bounces around teams and he seems to get shelled all the time. This season, while at Miami, a 7.07 ERA. And he actually had a start against this Cardinals team. 4.2 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. Shout out to AI. They were even able to put Paddock in the Reds uniform, even though he hasn't played for him this season.
Well done.
Yeah, really good. So I might be a sucker for this one, but I just think the Cardinals are criminally underpriced. I know they haven't been that good, but pitcher for the Cardinals, he's been good. Last 3 starts, 16.1 innings, 2 earned runs allowed. This is all about the pitchers. I don't want the bullpens involved. I just want this first 5 Cardinals money line. And if it's a tie, we push. So no harm, no foul. But give me that even money on the Cardinals first 5. That's the play of the day.
Yeah, I like it, especially Cardinals finally getting to kick off a road trip. I like playing on teams to start a road trip. This is the first in a 6-game trek for them. So kind of a head-scratching team have been the Reds here. So, Andy, as you were just saying, that was the same way that we were feeling when we faded the Sharps the other week, right? We were like, this line doesn't quite make sense to us. Let's buck what everyone else is thinking. I like this one, especially taking the bullpens out of it. First 5 money line. Let's make it 20-11 on the free plays. Hit that like button and subscribe here, folks.
All right. Well, let's bring in Gianni. Gianni, happy Friday. No UFC, but I got bare knuckle. I got PFL. We got LFA. There is a lot to get to. We got a locked and loaded slate for today and for the weekend. We got 3 races on Sunday. So now you're talking my language here. What do you got here? Let's start with MLB. We got a lot of games. Looks like only 1 day game, Astros and Cubs. Happy Friday. How are you?
Never better, brother. Coming off a really, really, really good night. 3-1 in baseball. Hit the WNBA, 2 bets on the same side. Minnesota, you knew they weren't going to lose 3 games to start the season at home. That team lost 2 games the entire season at home last year, and I think 5 games in the last 2 or 3 seasons combined. So it was a great spot for Minnesota. We're able to get down 5 whole percents by betting them on the spread and on the money line. So we're rolling into today off a nice day, but I'm still working with Hotspot right now. Wi-Fi is being fixed as we speak. So hopefully you guys are getting the information because it's a loaded Steam sheet today. I'll read off some of the baseball because there's a lot. Let me give you some sides and some totals. Here's some of the sides. 952 Cincinnati, even money. 955 Washington, plus 200. 960 Arizona, minus 190. 962 the Yankees, minus 130 and 140. And go down to 977 Athletics, plus 120. Couple totals for you. 952 under 9.5 St. Louis, Cincinnati. 954 over 7.5 Mets, Miami. Under 9 Washington, Atlanta. And finally under 9.5 and follow through under 9 today on Detroit and Baltimore. So a lot of baseball action. Hopefully, like I said, the betting syndicates I'm working with start to pick it up in baseball. Because like I said, so far, just not having the season looked forward to coming in. But fortunately, it's just so early. It's, mid-May, end of May, and we have a lot of baseball ahead. So hopefully the power ratings are formed a little better, and we move forward and do some damage. You know me, I tell it like it is. I tell you when I win, tell you when I lose. And baseball right now, we're a little bit behind where we should be, but coming off a nice winning day, hopefully that continues.
Well, the good thing about baseball is if you get off to a slow start, it's awesome because baseball season is 4 years long. Like it's just like
True.
You're like, wow, we got off to a slow start. Thank God there's 134 games left per team. Seriously. So these Rays keep on going. The Braves keep on going. They're way ahead of their win percentage. I got to ask you, do you ever what's going on with this Rays-Yankees game? Why is Garrett Cole, who hasn't pitched a whole lot, like why are the Yankees minus 156? Why are the Red Hot Rays plus 129? Are you seeing what's going on with this line? It doesn't make any sense.
Listen, here's what I'm going to tell you about the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 33-15. That's almost 70% straight up, right? When this season ends, they will probably win the East. Between them and the Yankees, we have them even. We have them each winning 92 games, okay? That comes out to 57%. So we expect the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees, neither of these teams, to win 60% of their games. And it makes sense because you have a Tampa team, a Yankees team, and a Toronto team, which will all be above 50%. And that's rare. When you look at the AL Central, only one team's going to finish above 500. That's Cleveland. When you look at the West, only 2 teams will finish about 500. That's Seattle and Texas. When you go into some of these divisions, like not too many teams are finishing above that 50% mark. And I think that's why, you have a tough division with Tampa and the Yankees. And the Yankees are one of those teams. Let me just pull it up because I want to make sure my memory is correct. You got to remember, when you're talking Major League Baseball, all right, there is no home field advantage. There's maybe 3 teams that have any home field advantage. I'm going to give them to you right now. The Phillies have a home field advantage. The Mets have a home field advantage. The Rangers have a home field advantage. The Rockies have a home field advantage. The Cubs have a home field advantage. The Rays have a home field advantage. And the Royals and Twins slightly home field advantage. No other team in baseball has a home field advantage. In fact, teams like Astros, Athletics, Nationals, believe it or not, have negative home field. They play worse at home than they do on the road. Baseball is one of those sports where home field doesn't really matter all that much. So I understand why you're like, why would they be a dog? Because again, with home field advantage not mattering, and the Yankees are one of those teams. Yes, they're 16-8 at home. I get it. But when the season ends, they're not going to have won 67% of their games. That's why I'm telling you, they don't really have a home field advantage. At least we look over, season wise, couple seasons. And that, again, when you're looking at, we expect Tampa to regress, and Yankees are playing right about where they should be. Now, again, And earlier they played already in Tampa, right? Tampa swept them. You have a little revenge here for the Yankees as well. And the Yankees haven't even been playing all that well. I mean, they just lost back-to-back games against Toronto, and you have a red-hot Tampa team, like you said, coming in. A little bit surprising on that line, and even more surprising that there's been no takers. It's been the opposite. Like you're seeing the line on the Yankees go from 145 to 155. So if anything, you're seeing money on the Yankees. And again, I think that's a fade, a regression to the mean for Tampa's expected. They're expected to regress. And then looking at this pitch and matchup, I don't really see any huge, disadvantages. I mean, you look at the Tampa pitcher, he's coming in off of 6 innings with no runs. And you're looking at a Yankee pitcher coming off 6 innings where, gave up 5 runs. None of them earned, but he still gave up 5 runs. So at least on paper, it looks like Tampa's a lock. And the public money's on Tampa. As of right now, about 7 out of every 10 bets that I'm seeing are on Tampa. I don't know. Those bettors out there that like to fade the public, those bettors out there that like to be on the side of the book, as they say, probably going to find themselves on the Yankees today.
All right. Well, we need to give away a 3-day pass, Dan. So I say this to the line movement on the Yankees. Care to make things interesting? Give me the Tampa Bay Rays. So, Gianni, here's what we're going to do. Put in the comment section whether you like. We'll say the line move. We'll say the Sharps are on the Yankees. We'll say Andy's on Tampa. So after the show, not during the show, after the show, in the comment section, put Sharps, Yankees, your WagerTalk username, or Andy, Rays, your WagerTalk username. We'll pick a winner and we'll give away a 3-day pass because this Rays team is a juggernaut.
It's your baby, Andy. The Rays are your baby.
I love this team, and I'm getting plus money. Come on, this is crazy. So that's gonna be our 3-day pass giveaway for today. All right, Gianni, we got NBA, we got NHL, 1 game each night. What are we seeing here?
All right, let's start off NHL real quickly because you have a spot for Colorado where they find themselves in a must-win. You can't go down 2-0 in this semifinal round, especially to teams like Colorado that lose game 1 at home. They do almost 64% of the time in the semifinal round. In all of the NHL rounds, first round through the Stanley Cup Finals, they've won 63%. So that 63 has hold. Small sample size, big sample size, around 63% of the time, a team like Colorado has been able to extend, go and even the series at 1-1. More importantly, a team like Vegas that's actually won game 1 on the road like they did in this semifinal round. We talked about it yesterday. They've gone on to win 60% of the time. So this is a big, big game for Colorado. Obviously, Sharps, as soon as that line went up, you got to remember the lines are up, as soon as that last game goes final, went up at 175. They betted immediately, but not since then. I haven't seen it since then. I only saw one limit bet at minus 175. That was it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I can tell you the public's coming in heavy on Colorado, expecting them with the back to the wall not to get the L tonight, and they're tying them up, parlaying them with all kind of stuff in NBA, in Major League Baseball, and they're also betting the over, blindly betting this over. Remember, we went under 6.5 and got the cover last time, landed 6. Public's coming right back with the over. Nothing from the Sharps so far in the NBA. Big game here as well. Spurs even the series were able to get a win, in Oklahoma City. So they kind of took the pressure off them and put the pressure now on Oklahoma City. Money came in on San Antonio at like -1. But I'll tell you this, I also saw when it went up to like 2.5, I saw the line come back down. Now, I didn't see Oklahoma City get bet in any accounts I have access to, but I don't have access to all the sharp bettors on the planet. So obviously that got respect. Somebody out there did pick off the plus 2.5s on the Oklahoma City side. Now, the total is what's most interesting to me. because I've seen this over and over and over again in the NBA playoffs. In fact, I saw it yesterday and was able to avoid a loser when they came back and steamed the over late. Okay, so here's what they're doing. They're getting out ahead of the public when they know which way the public's going to go. All right, so they got a good ticket in their pocket by getting out ahead of the public. And then once the public piles on what appears to be the sharp side, the books over adjust, okay? Because they find themselves with a ton of risk on one side. They have the sharps who bet the first number, and then they have the public who's lining up on that same side. So now that 216 total is 219. Brother, I can tell you about yesterday was 10 minutes before, 5 minutes probably before tip-off. They came back and fired the opposite. Usually within 30 minutes, that's what they're doing. They're coming back and taking the other side through off-screen accounts. And more times than not, it's not even showing up. Like yesterday, it didn't even have enough time, I don't think, to show up on the line, on the closing line, as far as the on-screen shops go. That's why when you look at your Steam sheet today, there's only one hit, and that's over tonight's game at, I think, whatever the opener was, 214 or 216. 216. I didn't have any follow-through, even though we're seeing it go through 17, through 17 and a half, up to 18. I didn't see any of that in any accounts. None of the guys I share info with sent me back anything that shows that the groups they work with are the ones behind the move, hitting 217s, hitting 217 and a half. So it seems to me like this is what's happening again. Sharps came in, bet that over as soon as that total went up. Public's betting it over again. The only question is, are we going to see that under get slammed off screen before tip-off, or is the over legit? Again, first two games did go over the total, so no surprise to see the Sharps get out ahead of the public. But again, be cautious drawing conclusions because there's a lot of maneuvering and a lot of late stuff off screen that I've seen in the playoffs.
All right. Before we let you go, no UFC, but we have LFA, we have PFL, we have bare knuckle. So I've got plays up. I know you're interested in PFL, but I mean, the last three fights of the night, you got a minus 1,600, a minus 800, and a minus 900. There's only a few fights that are on pace to be close here. I like Poklet over Abayev. That's the only one that's kind of close to a money line. What are you seeing in PFL?
And you're absolutely right. And that's where the UFC differs from these smaller promotions. They have more parity, but you see, even at the UFC level, when they're forced to produce so many events, even there you have trouble with parity, and you see some big money lines on these favorites. And we saw the favorites hitting at a much higher clip, I think, because of that. As far as the PFL, I'll give you in the main event, I like Mehdi Sadi in that PFL Mina against Yaya. I think it's a coin flip, more or less, the line right now. I'm comfortable betting Sadi. That line opened at about minus 130, 140. I thought it was going to travel up to minus 200 on Sadi. When I saw the line dropping, that's why I didn't release the subscribers yet, because I said, good, let them give us a discount. But I will be on Mehdi Sadi when that one goes off. And on that card, I also bet, what did I bet? I know I sent out 4 plays already. 2 this morning. Oh, Fahmy. I hit Fahmy as well. We bet Fahmy, Fahmi, Mohammed Fahmy over Ghanem. I bet him at minus 110, minus 115. The market's respecting it. It's up to like 120, 125 right now. I was good up to 150. I would have laid a 5% up to 150. I do think he wins this fight 2 out of 3 times, which should be, closer to 200. So I still think there's value on Fahmy. And like I said, I'm on Sadi. I just wait in the bet. And last but not least, Chalk, but he's going to run right through him. Hamed Marhoun over Kazmiev. Marhoun opened minus 265. He's up to 290 right now. He should be minus 400, and even there, it's a discount. I think he would have to injure himself on the way to the cage to lose that fight the way it lines up. Again, no such thing as a lock. And in those smaller promotions, I don't even have the confidence to fire 4% when it's that chalky. but I did send out a 3% on my man at, I think, minus 230, 240. And like I said, he's up to 290 now, and it's only going to be moving one direction, and that's up.
All right. Gianni, what do you have up for everybody on Friday?
Yes, sir. Steam sheets up, NBA, NHL, ton of Major League Baseballs in there as well. I will have an NBA. I'm very close to firing a 5% on tonight's NBA. I'm very serious. Haven't fired one in a little bit. At the least, it's going to be a 4% play. So that package will be up within the next 60 minutes. And as far as the NHL, probably going to end up passing today. We do have two nice series bets. We have the Knicks to win that series. Before it started, we had bet the Knicks to win the East. So I have a lot riding on the Knicks. So far, so good, sitting on the Knicks. And not messing with any adjusted series bets. So just going to grind over the next couple of days with baseball, playoffs, and like I said, got some PFL action for you. That package is up as well. More will be added between now and Saturday night. And best of luck to all this Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Do some damage.
All right. Thank you, Gianni. Gianni the Greek, kicking off the show. I hope if Gianni has a 5% play and it's a player prop, that his player plays more than 5 minutes. So
we'll never get over that one. But we have to. You know?
I hope that happens for Gianni. So, okay. Brutal news in my area of expertise. Sadly, Kyle Busch unexpectedly passes away. Yeah, one of the GOATs of NASCAR. It is a truly insane story. We're running a special 3 days for $18 in honor of the number 18 for this weekend. So if you want 3 days for all of our plays, all you auto racing fans, we got a lot of plays in auto racing. We've already got 3 NASCAR plays. So price is not going to get any better. It's just a little tribute to Kyle Busch, somebody that it's crazy, man. I've watched this guy for years and he was younger than me. Only 41 years old, and leaves behind a family. Tragic, terrible news. I will, man, in his heyday, that number 18, that M&M's car was just one of the more iconic. It's one of the more iconic cars in the sport. When he was at Bristol and he was at his peak, he would win races he dominated that track, and it was so fun. He was such a character. When the race wasn't going good, he'd come over and bitch over the radio, but it was just so funny. Nickname was Rowdy, and he was rowdy. So Kyle Busch, it's a bummer of a day. And for those of you that don't know, NASCAR is the reason why I'm here at WagerTalk.
That's what I was about to say is without auto racing, there probably is no Andy Lang on WagerTalk. We used to do the life in the fast lane. So, this is where it all kind of started for you as far as being a part of the WagerTalk roster. And it's grown, it's grown with the big portfolio that you've had, the team that you had. So, yeah, man, that story is crazy. And I'm sure we're going to learn more about it. Yes, it's sad news, but you can all ride together, kind of, move on forward. I love it, Andy, man. Number 18, gone too soon.
Yeah, and it's in the best racing weekend of the year. There's a Formula One race, there's the Indy 500, there's a Coca-Cola 600. So, 3 days for $18. In all seriousness, we do have 3-4% plays in bare knuckle, and we have a 4% in NBA coming off the 4% winner last night. So we do have a lot of good play. So you want to partner up, $18 in honor of Kyle Busch. So really, really sad news. So, all right, let's bring in Teddy Covers and let's get to the good news, Teddy, is you and I don't have to go head to head on anything. I just did it with Gianni.
You already did it. You went head to head with the Sharps.
But we can still make fun of Jalen Williams for a little bit. And we can talk obviously about, when a Vegas guy, entered the Kyle Busch, and then when the Vegas guys die young,
true.
We feel it in this town for sure. Rest in peace. He will be missed. That said, Jalen Williams will be missed tonight, right? Should we talk about Jalen Williams? Tell me about Jalen Williams.
No Jalen Williams talk. This is a Jalen Williams free zone.
No, it's all right. Listen, you make bets and injuries are part of it. It was just horrific timing on it, and it just when it happens on a 5% play, everyone knows this. When 5% plays go, it's a really exciting day. You're nervous, you're pumped, and then to have it be that big of a letdown is just like we didn't even get a full game to sweat it out. He's just like out. It was just so disappointing. It really does suck. But Teddy, we've been talking about this. What if the West beats each other up so bad and the Knicks cruise into the finals and they're the healthiest? I got to get your take. You got Dylan Harper hurt. You got Jalen Williams hurt. You got Hartenstein pulling hair. You got Chet stepping on people. And by the way, boy, is Chet a really good player when Wemby's not on the floor. He's dunking over Luke Cornett, but boy, when Wemby's out on the floor, it's a little bit different.
Different game.
What's your take on this situation coming into the finals? We talk about it every year. Who's the healthiest team?
So that was my lead. That was my absolute lead. When we talked at the start of the playoffs, you said, who's going to win the title? And I said, whatever team stays healthy. And the injuries are definitely starting to matter for Spurs Thunder. But there isn't an injury yet that makes me say tap the brakes on one team or the other. Let's start by looking at the Odds Logic live odds. You're going to get your free trial, guys. oddslogic.com/Teddy. Free trial, 7 days. It takes a minute to fill out the form. And you get free 7 days. You check it out. And it's a really valuable tool. I use it every day. Look at the Odds Logic live odds screen. I'm seeing a mix right now. There are 1.5s with San Antonio. There are 2s with San Antonio. If you want the Spurs, you want to lay 1.5. If you want the Thunder, you want to take the +2. Total sitting in the 217.5, 218.5 range. Let's call it 218 as the prevailing numbers. And again, at the start of the playoffs, we said, who's going to come out, who's going to win it all? And the answer is who stays healthy. And leading into this, you talked about the fact that if if the Spurs and Thunder all of a sudden are playing a war of a series, which kind of has that feel to it after 2 games, and the Knicks cruise, all of a sudden, maybe New York is liver than people think to win their first title since, the 70s? 1973? Is that right for the Knicks? That's just in my head, but I think that's right. Anyhow, for tonight, we got Jalen Williams questionable again. And again, the Thunder have won plenty of games without him this year. He missed 49 games in the regular season. He's missed 6 of 10 here in the playoffs. So it's not like OKC can't win games if Williams is hurt. Again, they went 39-10 without him during the regular season. And they're 6-0 in the playoffs in the games that he's missed. So OKC's got a pretty good track record without their second leading scorer. And of course, there was an A.J. Mitchell injury in game 2 that turned out to be not a big deal. He's expected to play tonight, not even listed on the injury report for this evening. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, their top 2 ball handlers / point guards, there's De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper, are both very questionable. And those are impact injuries. When you talk about not just your starting point guard, but your other primary ball handler in Harper. That being said, Stephen Castle's not a guy who I worry about with the ball. And I know that he has 20 turnovers in the first 2 games, 11 last time out. And his quote, I think it's more personal on my end, just speeding myself up, not allowing our screeners to get hits, putting me in position where I have to play fast or my screener might get an offensive foul. I would expect Castle to be better at avoiding turnovers in this ballgame. And if he isn't, I'm not worried at all for the Spurs, because certainly, Keldon Johnson can handle the basketball. Harrison Barnes can handle the basketball. And those are 2 veterans who can have a more ball handling responsibility should they need it. So, Mitch Johnson talking about Castle, quote, obviously this team's as good as anyone. OKC is turning you over. When you're down some of your primary creators and initiators, it causes a little bit of extra strain. We just have to be sharper in that area because it's tough enough fully loaded against those guys. Now, OKC bounced back from their game 1 loss, and I'm not going to say they controlled game 2, but they pulled away in game 2 and hung on for the cover. And when you talk about a Thunder team that has been brilliant on the road, a Thunder team that has won a title before, it's not an easy team to bet against. They really aren't in basically a near pick 'em price range. But it is definitely worth noting there's one role in particular that San Antonio has been good at this season. They're 17-7 against the spread off a loss, like the one they suffered in their last game. That's best in the NBA full season. But that's not telling the true story. They started the season going 6-7 ATS off a loss. Since January, they're 11-0 straight up, 11 to go against the spread, following a single defeat. In my mind, that's meaningful.
I mean, it's basically straight pick 'em. You can take the money line, you can take the -1.5. So if you like the Spurs, you're in great shape.
And let me jump in here because there's in general, 1.5 is the point spread, the number one point spread for me to look for money lines instead of laying the points. 1.5/2. Maybe two's the number one because that way you capture 1 and 2. Right now, you're paying about 20 cents to capture the number 1, and that's too much. That's so in my mind, if you're playing San Antonio at the current price, you lay 1.5 as opposed to minus 125 of the money.
Yeah, I agree completely. So I'll be watching this one. It's so crazy. Me and my buddies got together the other night to watch the Spurs and the Thunder. Like, it's not even a finals game. It's not even like our team, but some guys in the condos, and that's how good this series is. We got together on a Wednesday to watch a Western Conference Finals game. That's how amazing this series is, and we're probably going to do it again tonight. So let's move to MLB here. We got Dan's Philadelphia Phillies versus the Guardians. Baseball is so funny. Like, the season's so long, and you're just like, wait a minute, the Guardians are 9-1 in the last 10 games. Like, these streaks just randomly pop up. Like, wait, the Rays are the best team in baseball? What happened here? So I'm stunned at this line. Philly, huge favorite here. Cleveland, plus 160 and over under of 7. How do you break down this game?
That's one of the things I love about baseball, Andy, is because if you're not paying attention every day, all of a sudden you look at the game and you go, oh, wow, they just won 9-1 their last 10 games. If you're playing every day and paying attention every day, you can ride some of these streaks and you can catch them early, because that's what baseball. Look, we heard Gianni earlier in the show talking about, hey, at the end of the season, the Yankees aren't going to have won 67% of their home games, and he's absolutely right in that regard. Baseball is about short-term streaks and how quickly can you see them and take advantage of them. At least for me, and sometimes you find teams that you can ride long-term, but most of it is who's hot now, who's hitting now, who's not hitting now, and let's take advantage of it now. Right now, when we talk about Philadelphia and Cleveland, look at the odds logic live odds screen right now. I'm seeing minus 175, minus 180, minus 185. There's a minus 190 at Caesars for the Phillies and the Guardians. Total has been bet down to 6.5. There were 7s out there earlier this morning. We're seeing nothing but 6.5 right now, and I agree with that move. I do not expect runs in bunches in this ball game. Of course, the Phillies fired Rob Thompson. What was it, April 28th? They were 9-19. They're 25-25 now. So that's 16-6 in the 22 games since Donnie Baseball took over behind the bench. They had won 6 series in a row when they came into this series against Cincinnati earlier this week, and they won the opener of that game and then lost the last 2 and had yesterday off. And Don Mattingly quote, "We're fine. You're not going to win every day." I mean, I plan on winning every day, but that's just not going to happen. That being said, they've been winning for Chris Sanchez pretty regularly. Sanchez was number 2 in the NL in the Cy Young voting last year, and he's been as good as pitchers get. 30 strikeouts, 1 walk so far in May. He's struck out 13 batters last time out while shutting out the Pirates. 3rd straight game where he didn't allow a run. He's now thrown 29.2 consecutive innings without giving up a run. Chris Sanchez is not a guy who I have a whole lot of interest in stepping in front of, especially with a Guardian squad that, let's be real, they're not elite on the offensive end. Jose Ramirez, and let's hope for someone to do something. So I think Sanchez is likely to pitch fairly well again today, especially given the weather conditions back east. We think Memorial Day weekend, the weather's warming up. Well, not in Philadelphia. We've got temps in the 50s and the wind's blowing to third base. So it's not going to be a real nice night in Philly. Cleveland, as you mentioned, Andy, they'd won 9 of their last 10. They're coming off an impressive sweep in Detroit, a 4-game sweep. They held the Tigers to 8 runs in 4 games. The bullpen's been very, very good. The starting pitching has been very, very good. And now there's someone feasting on the weak during that span. They got the injury-riddled Tigers. They got Cincy, LA, Minnesota, Kansas City, the last 5 series. That being said, Phillies just had Colorado, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Cincy. Neither team's been eating up on a who's who of elites. Gavin Williams had a couple of rough starts. He pitched much better in his last outing. And we have a Phillies bullpen. Phillies were off yesterday, so their bullpen's fully rested. The Guardians did need bullpen arms yesterday. The 2 bullpens, comparable numbers out of the 2. Again, very cool temps for Memorial Day weekend. I think Philly deserves to be the favorite. Certainly, they priced too high. This is not a spot where I'm looking to back Cleveland at the plus price. So it's Phillies. And all the sharp money on the under, I wouldn't argue with it. Two pitchers who we like, two lineups that, at least for Philadelphia right now, they're not clicking. And Cleveland is not elite by any stretch of the imagination. So lean favorite and under Friday night in Philadelphia.
It's crazy. The team total for the Guardians for the first 5 innings is 1.5, and it's minus 180 to the under.
Exactly.
The books are like, no.
A lot of faith in Sanchez. Yeah.
His numbers this month are incredible. I'm looking at him right now. Just 24 innings, 1 walk, 30s, no runs. That's wild, man. That is wild stuff.
And
so,
when you think about the pitchers that get hype, Sanchez is not one of those guys. For as good as he's been, I would call him underrated in the betting marketplace. I would call him underrated in the populace. You say, oh, who's Philly's ace? People won't answer Sanchez.
yeah, they got his outs number at 19.5. You never see a number that high, so they expect him to go deep.
Teddy, there's still people in the greater Philadelphia area trying to convince people that Nola is still the ace for the
Sure, Nola or Wheeler, man,
Yeah.
you don't hear it. And it's like, did you watch him last year? Did you watch him this year?
Yeah.
Underrated. You get an underrated, if Sanchez is hyped, Philly's $2 today.
Interesting stuff. So, all right, Teddy, we're doing daily playoff coverage. What do you have up for everybody on Friday, and where can we see some of your videos?
Daily playoff coverage. Yeah. So I've been putting up free play videos for every single game here in the postseason. Every single day here in the postseason. At this stage, we're doing every single game of the postseason, obviously with only 1 game per day, and we'll go all the way through the finals. So a lot of times you'll get my secondary opinion, but many days you'll get my, the client play, like you did if you watched my big game breakdown for today. But just visit my homepage, www.buzz.com/TC. Visit the website, WagerTalk.com. And for God's sake, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Just shy of 250,000. Let's get to 250,000 this weekend. We're just shy of 250,000. Get instant alerts when these videos go live. And again, every single game. I'm not sure if they're going to anyone do it on Sunday, but almost every single game we're getting free play videos up and available. So check it out on the Wager Talk YouTube page, Wager Talk TV on YouTube.
Teddy Covers, thank you so much for joining us, getting us set for the weekend. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and good luck on all your bets. Teddy Covers, you can check him out on the YouTube page. Great. We got great content on this YouTube.
Dude, and Teddy said it. Like you said, we're just shy of 250,000 people subscribed to the channel. So, if you have friends, we're your friends, but we've already hit subscribe. So you let them know, hit subscribe as well. Let's get over the hump. It would be awesome if we came back Memorial Day on Monday. You and I get to let people know, hey, we got it over the weekend. So keep hitting that sub button. Tell your friends to do the same. And while you're down there, comment and like.
We're going to break down for all around the world. Dan's going to break down the lacrosse semifinals. I'll go over some bare knuckle stuff. So we got that coming up, a little bit more obscure sports, but let's bring in Joe Raineri because we got to talk about
hell yeah.
Some non-obscure sports here. Joe, happy Friday. How are you?
Outstanding, guys. Ready for 3-day weekend. Should be pretty interesting here. Got a lot still going on, a lot to be decided before we get to the dog days of summer, huh?
You're not wrong, man.
I can see you're already depressed thinking about when we don't have NBA in our lives and we're just sitting here breaking down the Royals and Royals and the Blue Jays on the play of the day. So
here come the Angels.
Don't sleep.
Angels, Giants. Catch the action. We got a couple of MLB games to get to, but I just want to get your thoughts on what's going on in NBA playoffs here. We get the Eastern Conference. Donovan Mitchell's leg looks cooked. The Cavs look cooked. Is that an overreaction, or do the Cavs still have something left?
No, well, I mean, listen, we kind of were saying the same thing after 2 games versus Detroit, and then they went home, and next thing you know, they're up 3-2. So you got to be very careful if you're the Knicks if you've got them on the mat, you got to finish them. And it's not like the Knicks have done this recently in the past here. So it's, we thought they were good enough to beat Indiana and make it to the finals last year, and that didn't work out, Andy. So, the Knicks got to keep it rolling. 9 straight wins, point differential of 212 points in this 9-game winning streak in the postseason. They've been a machine, but we all know Cleveland's a different team at home, and we also know the Knicks have been a different team on the road. So, I think the series gets decided in game 3. If the Knicks continue to roll, it's over at that point. Stick a fork in them. But if the Cavs are able to pull one out, I think you got a whole new series here. So I wouldn't just stick a fork in Cleveland yet. If the Knicks let them off the mat, anything is possible.
Yeah, and they're probably not going to get 26 points from Josh Hart every game.
Very fair.
But,
very fair.
Cleveland tried to double team Brunson. I thought Brunson was really, really good last night, just navigating through the double teams.
Brunson,
facilitator, fantastic.
Yeah,
that's experience for you.
Yeah, Cleveland shoots 39% from the field, 26% from they shot 69% from the free throw line.
Yep.
That is like Mitchell Robinson territory there.
There wasn't any part of that game in which, and I was on the Knicks last night, and there was absolutely no part of that game where I was like, whoa, geez, are they going to cover? And I got the worst. I got them at 6.5, and the entire world is betting the Cavs like they know the score. Like, wait, what? Like it down to 5? Like, are you watching the same thing? James Harden's on the Cavs. Like James Harden's on the Cavs. Do you understand that? It's the postseason. It never works that way, ever.
That's what Andy and I all said that. We just didn't understand. We were like, the case that could be made for the Knicks blowing out this team has way more bullet points than the Cavs pulling an outright win. So we were seeing it the same way there, Joe.
In no world did I ever think that I'd be saying, the Knicks got a pretty good coaching edge here.
I know, right? What is happening?
Never thought I'd say those words. I didn't have that on the bingo card, but Atkinson looks like a deer caught in the headlights. Legit looks like he has no idea what to do here.
Let's get to Major League Baseball here. Let's start with Mets versus Marlins here. Perez is giving out runs like he's Oprah here recently. Just 15 runs and 4 starts. Teddy was breaking down what Sanchez is doing this month. Perez is the complete opposite here. So even though it's kind of a straight pick 'em, though, over under is 8. What do we do with Mets and Marlins?
Well, it's interesting. It's much like Severino last night. You want to talk about dramatic home road splits. Look at Perez. Severino, we know, can't pitch in Sacramento, but Severino on the road is a different dude. Perez on the road is a hot mess. Over a 7 ERA, walks everybody, gets hit hard. But at home, he's kind of a different guy here. And not for nothing, the Marlins certainly offensively have proven to be a bit of a pain in the you-know-what for some teams here. So they're coming off a tough series against the Braves. I mean, the fact that you even got one and beat them, 12-0 in that first game of the season is nice. Manea, it was, I don't know, call me, he's one of the worst guys that we have seen in recent memory here. Not great. You've got an opener, I guess, and Tobias Myers, right? And then, this is definitely, as crazy as it is, look past the disgusting numbers with Yuri Perez because he's at home and he's a different guy than he has been on the road, which is kind of skewed it. So I kind of like the Marlins at plus money here. The Mets they're like James Harden. They're going to figure out a way to lose this game in epic fashion, a game that they'll probably should have won, but they will figure out a way to lose this. Maybe give up 2 inside the park home runs. Something that they'll throw it into the stand. Something will happen with the Mets. It's advantage Miami. Both bullpens are rested. Give me the plus money here. I think I trust Miami a little bit more in this spot than I do the Mets.
Joe says, hold your nose.
It's gross, but
Really
Nothing worse
gross.
than taking the Mets at minus money and watching them throw up all over themselves. That's just as disgusting. Yeah.
That comes with a glass of bourbon.
Yeah.
The handicap comes with a glass of bourbon. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, well, let's go to Dodgers and Brewers here. Robleski for Dodgers. One of the more fascinating pronunciations of a name that trips me up every time. Robleski for Dodgers.
Fair.
Henderson for the Brewers. Robleski, good start to the season. Last two starts, not that great. I think it's reflected in the line here. Normally you're paying a Dodgers tax here, but lines are pretty close here. What do we do with this game? Over under 8.5.
Because the Brewers are one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball right now. So they're at home. They're coming off a sweep of the Cubs, which they haven't done since 2021. They've won 11 of their last 13. And it's not fancy, but guess what? They put a lot of runners on base. They play good defense. They steal bases. They play small ball. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. What else is there here? They're playing great baseball here. The Dodgers bounce back in a nice way there on the road against the Padres in their last series. Both of these teams are coming off a day of rest yesterday. Robleski has been great, but some of his underlying metrics are a little, we're talking about a guy that is not necessarily, I think, 38% ground ball pitcher, which means his fly balls, if they get hit hard enough, are looking like they're going to leave the park here. He's got a bit of a walk problem, but the Brewers haven't exactly hit left-handed pitching all that well. And on the other side, you've got Logan Henderson, who is big swing and miss potential here. This guy has been dominant in the couple of starts since he's been back. And when you got a guy that can miss bats, it gets him it's the ultimate get out of jail free card here. There are a couple of teams I have no interest in stepping in front of at this current moment. The Brewers are one of them. Tampa's another one of them. You would have gone broke if you keep going, oh, no, the shoe's going to drop. They're going to no, they're not. They're playing great, fundamentally sound baseball right now. And we all know it's been hit or miss with the Dodgers over the last couple of weeks. I like the pitching matchup. I like the edge that the Brewers bring to the table at home. I'll take them at this price.
All right, going with the Brewers. All right, I can't argue with it. It should be a fun game to watch.
Should be a great series.
Yeah, great series. Bummer that they got to go head to head against Spurs Thunder. It's kind of tough. Imagine if you got like tickets like a month ago or something. You're like, oh god, I got tickets to the game, but Spurs Thunder.
Damn it!
That's absolutely.
Once you get a second TV for you, good to go. Just throw them both up. You'll be fine. It'll be good. As long as you can figure out which streaming service they're on, though. That's good luck with that.
They really should put the game on like the Jumbotron. The scoreboard. Come out, watch the game, watch our game, and then you can watch the game on the screen out there.
That's correct. Yep.
Joe, what do you have up for everybody?
We are locked in the NBA here tonight. Won again last night, 9-2 run in the postseason now. So we're crushing it there in the association. It's been a great overall run. I've got 2 Major League Baseball plays up and available as well. So no reason not to get involved. That 3-day all access pass is really the best deal on the site. Just hop on over there, get 3 days all access, all plays, including any of those 5% best bets that will be coming your way, by the way, because I've already got one circled for tomorrow. So head over to the page at WagerTalk.com. Let's get it done heading into a Memorial Day weekend.
And you will get some more Joe Raineri, as David is asking, are you going to be on Saturday's show? That is right. Joe Raineri will be hosting Last Call. The Prez will be joining him. So sorry you have a now 5th day. You have
that's great.
That's Prez.
Fair enough. It's his birthday today. Did you have to? Did he tell you how many times?
Oh,
did
yeah.
He tell? Yeah.
About 1 million. And Joe, we had him on the show yesterday, and we still haven't recovered from the amount of times he flexed. So tune in tomorrow. Last Call. Subscribe. 11 a.m. And Joe will be your host. Thanks, Joe.
Bring beer. Thank you.
Yeah. I think you'll need something stronger than beer. I will say that much.
All right. 3-day pass for $18. You want to lock in all of our plays for the weekend. Good for only just a limited time running that as a tribute to Kyle Busch. So no reason to not jump on board. We got a lot of plays here, and Dan and I are going to break down some free plays. Preston wants to know about WNBA. Yeah, I'm looking at WNBA. I like the Valkyries plus 5.5 against the Fever. All right, I have a hot take. You ready? I've wondered this. I've thought this. I think Caitlin Clark's overrated.
I don't think it's that crazy of a hot take anymore.
I live here in Indianapolis, so I watch all the games, and she's brittle, man. She gets hurt. And, she does play kind of a physical style. There's a lot of picks that she's involved with, but she goes down a lot. She missed another game with the back. I think she's going to play tonight. But I don't know, this Fever team. I think they're constantly overrated and overvalued.
That's the thing, Andy, is like, okay, yeah, she can shoot the lights out, inconsistently. So it seems like, and when you're injured all the time, you're now building into the marketplace. Oh yeah, we're way better than we actually are. So yeah, I think she's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but as far as being the end all be all, I think the injuries, your best availability is going to be, or your best ability is going to be your availability, and there just hasn't been any consistency in that end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're constantly overvalued. I would take the Valkyries. I know the Valkyries are on a back-to-back. I would take them plus 5.5. The Sun and the Storm. Why they keep having the Sun and the Storm, like the two worst teams, play each other? I mean, the over/under is 165.5. You got to play the over just on your principle that a total in the WNBA should be that low. So that's WNBA. All right, I'll do bare knuckle real quick here, Dan, and then you can talk about lacrosse here. So if you have FanDuel or if you have any of the off screens, check and see if you have bare knuckle. If you do, we have 3-4% best bets that are up. There's a guy named Iman Williams. He's going to beat the shit out of Cody Kerr. Cody Kerr has one fight in bare knuckle. He won, and he fought a guy who was wearing a knee brace and basketball shorts. Iman Williams fought as a heavyweight, and then 8 months later, he weighed 204 pounds. I'm sure no substances were involved, but Iman Williams is going to win. And then Chase Gormley is actually fighting. This is a Bellator guy from the mid-2000s. He's in his 40s. He beat this absolute nobody in his bare knuckle debut. So they gave him another fight, and he promptly lost in 40 seconds. He's slow, he's old, and he's fighting this Levi Costa guy who's a real boxer. That was at minus 125 when we gave it out. It's minus 160 now. That thing's good, up to minus 200. And then the main event, I kind of like the underdog, Michael Larimore. Never been out of the first round. He's all gas, no brakes, just going to come across the ring and swing haymakers. So should be a pretty good event. I believe myself and Jim will be live watching bare knuckle and Spurs and Thunder. So if you want to come hang out, go join us at the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. All right. Yes, Seth, that is true. It's our tribute to the Kyle Busch, number 18 M&M's thing. So yes, 3 days for $18. We've never done anything like this before, but Kyle Busch means the world to me. And by the way, Steve Merrill also got his start at WagerTalk with NASCAR.
Yeah, live in the fast lane. It was epic. And our man Rocky Atkinson over at Sports Memo, picks and parlays. That was a fun show, man.
Oh, so great. So funny. But yeah, we talked about Kyle Busch all the time on that show. So 3-day pass for $18. You get all the plays. All right, Dan, what are we looking at in lacrosse? We're coming up on the national championship game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have enough to make a client play. So I'll break down both of these games for you real quick. You got Princeton and Duke taking on each other. Princeton's the 1 seed. That's going to be at noon tomorrow. And then at 2:30 tomorrow, it's Notre Dame and Syracuse. Princeton is a 1.5-point favorite. People might look at that. They're the number 1 overall team. That feels a little bit short. However, this Duke team is kind of the dark horse in this tournament. They played up to their opponents. What points out to me in that one, Andy, and unfortunately the number's just about right, 24.5, that total. If we were at 23.5, that's a client play to the over. These are just two teams who light it up. Princeton averages just under 15 goals per game. Duke's right behind them, ranking 3 and 4 in Division I lacrosse with 14.82. 14.73. These are two teams that fill it up, and the goaltending, it's inconsistent at best. So the last time these teams faced off was last year. There was 29 goals scored between them, and there were sophomores that scored 5 points. This feels like an over game, Andy, but they lined it really well. That's really what's keeping me off both of these games is they're lined really well, because the other one in Notre Dame and Syracuse, that game's at 2:30 tomorrow. I wanted to make a case for the Orange, Andy, because what we did all season long was cash a lot of tickets fading the Orange when they were playing away from the Carrier Dome. But we said, come playoff time, throw that out the window, because they've already gotten their lumps on the road, which is how we were able to cash in on them playing against UNC when a lot of people told me they weren't going to be beating them. However, the fact that they are 2.5 goal underdogs, that feels baity to me, Andy. That feels like, oh my goodness, Joey Spallina, potential to Wharton Trophy winner. Oh my, we have to be taking 2.5 with them. So if they're not covering early, Andy, they're not going to be covering late. This Notre Dame team can blow out anyone. I mean, look no further than last week. They were tied at halftimes against Johns Hopkins. It was 6-6. They end up winning by, I think, more than 6 goals. So this is a team that has insane firepower. Notre Dame from day one was my pick to win the championship. So I think that they will continue doing what they have continued. Does Syracuse have a chance? Sure. But that 2.5 tells me everything I need to know.
You're going to get got. A lot of people are going to get got on that line.
I think the sweetheart pick of if you talk there as a lacrosse betting public, plus 2.5, only minus 125 for Syracuse. And this is a public darling that people have been trying to get to national championship weekend, try and get in the championship game since Joey Spallina was on this roster. That just feels like too good to be true. So if I had to, I would lay with Notre Dame. But again, they line this thing perfectly. So both of them really, if you can find a 23.5 out there on that Princeton and Duke game, that would be an overplay for me, and I would feel pretty confident doing it. At 24.5 can only end up being a lean. I'll probably play it tomorrow before the game, but not enough to make it a client play for sure.
Okay. All right. Someone asked, how do I watch BKFC? We will probably show the fights on our YouTube channel tonight. I have a subscription.
Let's go.
Yeah. There's some, you can't stream UFC on YouTube, but
bare knuckle fighting clubs don't care.
Nobody cares about
They're just glad you're watching.
Yes, if you're streaming bare knuckle. So we should be pretty good there. So so go to the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. We'll have a live show tonight. Come hang out. We'll have live bets, commentary, lots of fun. So all right, 3-day pass we're giving away. Don't forget, in the comments section, if you think the Yankees are going to win, put the Yankees in your WagerTalk username. If you think me and the Rays are going to win again, then put Andy Rays and your WagerTalk username, and then we will pick a winner for the free 3-day pass. We will announce that on Monday. All right, great stuff. Great show. Great guests this week. They always bring the heat. Thank you to the chat. You guys are always awesome. Dan, congratulations on your champion. Love that I co-host. I co-host with a winner, with a true winner. Nothing but the best.
Well, let's make sure that carries over into this weekend. $18, WT.buzz/AL. Let's have a big weekend, folks. Andy and I will be here with you on Memorial Day. So tune back in. And when we see you, after you all hit the subscribe button this weekend, we'll be talking about $250,000 here on WagerTalk. So we'll see you Monday.
Amen. Thanks very much. Like and subscribe. We'll see everyone Monday. Take care.